Emotions can be too much or too little, but what if I told you I had a tool to help you navigate through your emotions, not to dismiss them, not to go overwhelmed by them, but help you understand them? Emotions are the gateway to your beliefs. And this is Joshua Ward with He Changed Me, and we're going to get into it right after the intro. See you in a minute. So guys, I'm trying a new creative spot right here, but I really want to get your input into the comments about how you like this angle. Plus, really what's important is like, how's my intro? Is it too long? Do things need to be short? Please give me feedback in the comments so I can get better and better over time. But before we go into the beliefs, right, and how like the emotions can be the insight into your beliefs, first of all, I'm gonna tell you about my channel real quick. We have relationships, single dad, that's what I am, who I am, what I'm about. Then you have personal growth and also attachment theory. But today is really going to be in the attachment theory and personal growth in both buckets, because it can help you personal grow, but I think it's really important to understand to help you with different attachments down the road. All right, so let's jump right into it. Now, emotions get a bad rap. I mean, you have situations where people just push away their emotions and like, I don't need emotions, I'm a man, I don't need. And what happens is that mentality is usually produced from an avoid mentality. Or you have that person who is just, they get into the emotions and they get stuck in it and they make this fantasy world and make it all these fantasies into a reality, and then they act on those realities because they feel like it's really real. And that's going to be more the anxious mind. But what if you can utilize the emotions to pinpoint emotions, but also use that pinpoint of emotions to produce a solution and an answer to get you out of that situation, right? So what's been really helpful for me was this wheel. Now this wheel has emotions on the inside, and then you have certain feelings that are actually broken down inside of each one of these emotions. And you can use this wheel to really help you with the emotions perspective. For example, let's say you're misunderstood and frustrated. But if I only stop at anger and I'm like, angry, well, I can't change my environment, or I can change how I react to it, which I used to use, I would just push it to the side. But it still would have bothered me deep down, which can cause resentment on the back end. But what would happen is, now let's say I go down and find out this is the pinpoint, the misunderstood and frustration was what the problem is. Now the problem is, let me just reword what I had said to get my point across, so now I don't feel like I'm frustrated because I'm misunderstood. So understanding the feelings and sitting in the feelings and understanding what those are, you can start to pinpoint what it is to help you try to find resolutions to it. So the wheel is amazing. Please use the wheel. I mean, I use the wheel in a lot of. So emotions broken down to feelings helps you address the immediate concerns, but a lot of these concerns comes from your belief system. And I believe your emotions are the gateway to your belief system. And so you have two things that really formulate that belief system. That's going to be emotion and also repetitious information. Now there's probably little things out there too that add to it, but these are the main things that affect you in your mind. So in this situation, you have emotion, you have great emotion, and then our very sad, traumatic situations, these can imprint on your belief system. And so when you have also repetitious information that comes as more consistent, you say, okay, this is a universal truth that also can affect your belief system. But when you have your belief system, you gotta understand what is serving you, right? Usually these belief systems were formulated at the time they were formulated to protect you or add value to you in some form or fashion. But what happens is your subconscious kind of just auto-activates that belief system in all situations. You ever had that situation where it's like, oh, I love this thing about you, but also that same thing I hate about you in these other situations? Is because you're not consciously actually utilizing these things and making sure you see what's serving you and what's serving the relationships you have. So for example, first grade comes in and you go into class, first aid class, and it's like high-fiving everybody, teachers and classmates, everybody. Everybody's like, yeah, you're awesome, Josh, you do it, high five, yeah. Next year comes around, you do the same thing. You're like, yeah, this is great, man, you're awesome. And you do this all the way into 12th year, because this is kind of your ritual and people expect you, they're just excited to see you happen. But then freshman year in college comes and you try to do that, everybody looks at you stupid like, what are you doing? right? Because in your mind, your belief system is like, okay, I got repetitious information that shows positive responses to it. It had a lot of emotion that was positive for me in the situation, and now I hit this situation here. Or what if you did that at a job interview? Or if you did that in the C-suite? Technically, I probably would do that in the C-suite. But these things may not be the time and place that's serving you to make sure you get the outcomes you're looking for, right? So there's a process called B.T.E.A, and this process is phenomenal to actually pinpoint where your emotions and how your belief systems are affecting you on a daily basis. So you have B, which is going to be belief. You have T, which is going to be thoughts. And you have E, emotions, and A, action. And so you can use this process on a lot of different ways. And in most ways, it's going to find in this order is the action and the emotion. So you can use these endpoints to be like, okay, did I have bad emotions? Did I have something not serving you? Or did I do something that actually wasn't beneficial for me in this situation? When you look at those, I think a lot of that has to do with your instincts that you've had at a younger age, but a lot of things in life taught you not to listen to your instincts and telling you what's going on. Now, instincts come from your subconscious, which I believe. So you have the beliefs and thoughts. Right? So your beliefs and thoughts is more your subconscious, your habits and things that auto-activate whenever you need to. You not really have to really consciously think about it. But then you have the thoughts, which is more your immediate thoughts that you're actually taking in your brain. Now, most people don't realize that your subconscious versus your conscious has a dramatic effect on each other. Your conscious mind does about 50 to 200 bits per second, while your subconscious does 20 million bits per second. So when you think about that in a holistic grand scheme of things, the subconscious has a huge influence on your conscious mind. But your conscious mind can affect the subconscious if you work on little things here and there, and that's why it takes a long time to change and develop and work on yourself, because you literally are trying to change little habits here and there, but you got so much you have to do to really make a significant change. All right, so let's just use this scenario, right? You're outside and you see a wasp, and you get, oh my God, a wasp, and you run away. Right? So then you have two ways. You have the action of running away, and then you have the feeling of the fear of the wasp, right? Let's say this is my example because I'm working on overcoming the fear of wasps, right? And so what happens is the feeling of fear and the emotions is like a signal about something that's going on. So you have to think back, okay, why do I have that feeling? Or why did I have that potential action of running away or wanting to run away? Then you got to go back to your thoughts. Okay, I feel like I'm going to get stung and it's going to hurt. Or I might be allergic and I might die from a bee sting or a wasp sting. But then that comes from a belief that I've seen on TV that made bees hurt and people are running away, so I must run away also. But so see how that it's a core belief of running away from bees. So bees automatically alert that I need to run. But not every single time running away is serving me. Let's say I have my daughter with me and I see a bee. In that situation, do I run automatically? And I've seen people do that before because it's automatic, right? But also thinking, how can you make this belief serve me in the right times, right? So I think B.T.E.A is a great way to actually understand your core beliefs. Now, that was a very easy way. This is different things like abandonment and being worthy and being enough. All these things are deeper ones, will have more broad applications, but I'm using this example to kind of understand how to use this B.T.E.A about your emotions. So, but let's switch this around. So how do you actually change your beliefs? We talked about it. It's emotions and repetitious information. But you kind of have to be cognizant of what's going on. When you see a bee, all right, you're gonna have emotions to run and jump and be scared, but you have to get your conscious mind in act. And so I think it switches around from your thoughts have to change your actions. Okay, this is not serving me. Me running is not serving me. I have my kid. I gotta protect my kid. So let's go forward. Or I've never been stung before. Why am I actually being afraid of a wasp in the first place? And so once you start this, okay, you change the action. Even though the emotion and the action are telling you to hightail it out of there, you actually don't run and you just stay there. And what happens is, if you do that enough times when wasps come around, it's going to start to change your belief system. Like, okay, maybe this is irrational fear, and you have a low chance of actually getting stung if you don't bother the wasp. And so what happens is, by changing that belief, then what happens is it changes your emotions associated with it. So it's going to be thoughts, actions, then beliefs, and then emotion. But you can only think about it in those situations, and sometimes you'll miss it. In some situations that you probably need somebody from the outside to give you perspective on it, so you can start to slowly be cognizant of those situations, so you can start to realize, okay, is this going to serve me or is this not? Now, if you had a situation where you had 1,000 wasps coming at you, all right, run, because that's a situation that's a rational fear. So looking at the belief systems can really be understandable to actually understanding yourself and how to help change these belief patterns that are not serving you. So in final thoughts, I do want to make sure you realize that this is it's a huge thing to understand, and it has deeper implications. I think a lot of people have a wound of being worthy and not being enough, and that can all put you in situations of having sex with people you didn't want to have sex with, or it can put you in situations where you're trying to prove yourself in relationships, friendships that you shouldn't even be in anymore. And so, like, a lot of these things could not be serving you. So if you start to understand your emotions, like, how am I feeling, and is that feeling justified, and do I need to start to think logically and try to help change my belief system in this specific area? So guys, I appreciate you sitting here for this. BTEA is a huge game changer. Beliefs, thoughts, emotions, and actions, and also understanding how to reverse that, which are thoughts, actions, and beliefs, and then emotion. And so please utilize this. Thank you, like and subscribe. I need to start saying that earlier so people can subscribe and actually like my content. But again, as I end all these calls or these videos, if you have kids, slow down and give them a hug, because they desperately need it. Until next time, thank you for seeing here. See you in the next content, and see you next time.